Fitzpatrick. Two basic points. If there are unsafe rail cars, and it's ridiculous to have them on rails, the federal government should make them safe. And two, I don't know if there's a federal law that grants the railroad immunity from the damages they cause, but nobody else in the country gets immunity for the damage they cause. So they're certainly responsible for it, and they ought to pay for it.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
My name is Vic Thakur. I live down the street, and I hear the station on the train passing all the time. But it's a beautiful sound. I don't know. I've been living here for only about 30 days, but mentally I was here 54 years. I came to school here in 1960, and I never left mentally. And I did a very, never mind what, but I got married to a girl from across. Have sympathy, please. That's why she's not here. Sir, I was a history teacher too, and then I found that I was telling half lies, and they sent me to mental health. And that's why I'm teaching psychology now. There are 2 tracks will be laid. Does that mean that the payload will be double the quantity and the quality? And secondly, I saw something happening just now which worries me, and that is, this is a very emotional issue at this point. Do we have an umpire or an ombudsman who's going to sit in between to take the blows? Because we cannot engage in groupthink, which means that we're going to support each other because we think that's the thing we're supposed to do, instead of looking at the good. And my other question then is, what's going to happen? What are we going to lose out if we do not get this train going as we ought to?
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan Siniger, and I grew up about 300 feet from
Please speak right into the microphone.
My name is Dan Siniger. I grew up about 300 feet from the rail down south of Central down here. Parents still live down there. Kids going to Southern Bluffs, Longfellow Central. I think one of the things you got to keep in mind is the big picture here. The parking lot's pretty full out there. I don't know how many people walked. One of the people want to know what the benefits of this is. It's called energy independence. We've been spending the last, 15 years in the Middle East? It's not for scenery, folks. How many veterans are in here? You want to see more people die because La Crosse doesn't want to have a railroad track through its backyard? We don't want a pipeline. We don't want a railroad. Nobody wants to walk. There's got to be a middle ground. And it's going to have to come from the front row legislators up there. Let's make the cars safer. Let's have some plans put in effect. But to say no isn't a realistic plan.
Thank you.
My name is Gordon Johnson. I've lived by the trash for the last 40 years. And I'm at the end of the cul-de-sac, and once they usually go down the brewery, down in the middle of the night, I never hear those trains. But when they're going south, when they're fully loaded, going at full speed, they cross right where the tracks split to go down to the brewery. And it's clickety-clack all the time. And when they're going north, sometimes they're going very slow because they have to wait for to get on the other track. So that's why I have. Thank you.
I'm Craig Brooks. I live in Buffalo City. I live on the Mississippi River, and I deal with the trains on my side, and I watch them across the river, and the thousands of oil cars that are coming by. I'm very concerned, especially the small towns along the river. As in the movie, the people are not going to be able to get out. They can't get up the hill fast enough to escape the explosions. I'm glad you're reaching out around the country, but I think there's a special interest about the need for safer rail cars, and I'm interested in how you can create more of a coalition of communities between here and Williston.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Kozak. I just had a quick question for folks in the DNR or maybe the legislature here. This is obviously a pretty serious issue with lots of ramifications. So I'm wondering how the Chapter 150 is bypassed by the DNR Planning Commission, considering that there's so many potential ramifications to this project. I know the old 150 would say that if there was any potential for long-term consequences with high costs, that would generate an environmental impact statement. So I'm just wondering, how is it that now something of this magnitude, and especially in light of all the recent disasters, how that would somehow get bypassed?
Thank you.
We have about 5 minutes left, which would be maybe 5 more people, so.
Okay. I know that you're not going to be agreeing.
Microphone.
Speak right into the microphone, please.
Okay. I know that you're not going to be, a lot of you won't be agreeing with me on this, but I've been studying climate change all winter long.
Please speak right into the microphone.
We just had a big report that came out from a huge conglomeration of scientists. I don't have the exact name of it, but I'll quote Jim Hansen, the leading climatologist, and Bill McKibben, the leading activist. And as far as all pipelines, Keystone and otherwise, the climate scientists have told us, again, just recently, that if we burn all that Canadian tar sands, we will have passed the tipping point of carbon dioxide and methane in the atmosphere, and it will be too late to reverse it. I mean, this is coming up within the next 5 to 10 years, and after that point, it will be too late. Now, the year 2050 is kind of up for grabs at this point. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but it is very likely that the rest of the century may be unlivable. And so as far as jobs, which I know people value,
Thank you.
there's not-
Your time is up.
Go,
Okay.
we got limited amount of time, thank you.
Hi, my name is Eltrons. I've lived on the tracks, a couple of blocks out from the tracks over on Heritage Court for about 11 years now. And I would just put it to our local leaders, Tim and Mr. Medinger and our other representatives, to give us an idea of what effect this may have on, I mean, not only the issues that everybody else has so eloquently raised, but property values, things like that, you know, if I want to go and resell my home in 5 years, what is that going to, how is that going to be impacted, you know? And, you know, I make my living, you know, in part from the energy and chemical industry, as many of us probably do, and we're impacted by this greatly. So there are pluses and minuses and railroad, all of that, but I would really like to know what the real impact means to us as an individual and as we try to raise our families in this community after this happens.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for maybe 1 or 2 more people.
Hi, my name is Damian Thundercloud, and I
Please
also
speak right into the mic.
show it that way. My name is Damian Thundercloud, and I also live right along the rail line as well. But my question would be to the rail companies is if they have contacted the Ho-Chunk Nation to see if this new rail line is going to disturb any historical sites of the Ho-Chunk Nation, and that would be my question.
Thank you.
This will be the last speaker.
My name is Susie Zenker, and I've lived directly across from the tracks for 46 years. There are no houses across the street, and many of the trains are going at a normal rate of speed. But when those tankers come and are going at excessive rates, as one of the ladies said, it's absolutely scary because they're vibrating everything. And we actually watch them, my husband and I, and we think, oh goodness, they're going to derail any second. So I just wanted to reinforce that. Can there be any type of a speed limit actually really imposed on those trains? They say there is, but there certainly doesn't seem to be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.